We have some pretty big breaking news here out of Washington, D.C. in the White House. President Trump right now talking from the state dining room at the White House. He is meeting with tech CEOs to talk about Invest America and these Trump accounts for newborn Americans. But he has just made some big headlines, starting with Tesla CEO Elon Musk. He said, quote, he does not know if Musk had drugs at the White House. But he also said, and see the turnaround in the stock with Tesla up 4%, he also said he would not drop Tesla's Starlink service contract, saying SpaceX is a, quote, good company. He also said Iran was a tough negotiator as talks continue, at least towards some type of nuclear deal. And the president said he discussed Iran, among other topics, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu earlier today. All right, Dow Jones Industrials up 63 points. Let's get a look at Apple right now. With minutes to go before we have the close, about, let's call it 19 minutes to go, we have Apple at $201 a share, down 1.5%. The stock is falling after unveiling the operating system, the OS 26 software system across its iPhones, Mac computers, iPads, smartwatches, TV, and Vision Pro headsets during day one of its week-long Worldwide Developers Conference. It's out in Cupertino, California. The biggest promotions from today's keynotes include their new liquid glass display. This is technology that they say makes features appear clearer and glassier on the screen. They open up access for any app to tap directly into the on-device large language model at the core of Apple Intelligence, adding ChatGPT image generation to its Image Playground feature. They also introduced a live translation with Apple Intelligence, so it translates into whatever language you need it to be translated into. And it extends visual intelligence to the iPhone screen. Was any of this enough to move the needle, at least for one analyst who has been the latest to downgrade the stock? Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive, that analyst, senior Needham senior internet media analyst Laura Martin, who downgraded the stock to a hold from a buy last Wednesday. Laura, Apple unveiling the new systems and visual updates. Does any of it move the AI needle for you enough to say, I'm going to go back to a buy or an accumulator or something better than a hold?
Now, as we said last week, you need an Apple upgrade cycle for this stock to work, we think. And nothing that was said today had not been widely rumored in the blogs and in press reports. So while they announced some cool stuff, I don't think it requires consumers to run out and buy a new iPhone. So we would say no, nothing they announced was either a surprise or enough to move the shares other than down as they are moving now.
Okay, folks, Laura just finished the note. We have it hot off the presses, and you are hearing that first and exclusively. So what else did you really cleave to on any of these announcements?
So I think the three things that we were pleasantly surprised by that we had not heard before was this Apple video game hub, where you're going to be able to like invite you to compete with me, even if it's a single player game. And also you're going to be able to search all games, not just Apple games. So that was interesting. I thought the real-time live language, real-time calling, translating, even if the other person didn't have an iPhone, that was something we hadn't seen talked about before. But I think the main thing was, the main problem I think that Wall Street's having right now and why the stock is down is they're putting small language models on the device. And the problem is Gemini over at Android is putting large language models. Theirs is called Gemini. And today, maybe those functionalities aren't that different. So Apple's saying, look, for privacy facts, you consumer are going to have to choose to leave the Apple perimeter to get to a large language model. I would say, generative AI is 2 years old. So 2 more years from now, you are going to have large language models built into everything. You can't put it on a device. Okay. So this notion for strategy of keeping privacy intact while going to small language models, to me, is not a long-term solution. And I think that's what the market's telling you today.
Well, yes, their whole AI plan, everybody's been saying over the past year and a half, Apple's behind on this. They don't even call it AI. They call it Apple Intelligence. And my segment producer checked. They said Apple Intelligence 34 times during this day one. Liquid glass was right behind it at 14 times. But again, say it right here. Are they still behind in the AI developments that they had promised and people are still waiting?
Yes, farther and farther behind. And that's why the stock rallied last year on this, because we thought they were going to get Apple Intelligence into Siri. And they said today, look, we need more time. We can't get it to the quality we want. And I think part of that is they're constraining themselves because of privacy to putting a small language model on their device. And they really need large language models integrated into their devices, like Android is, because Google owns a cloud and it owns a large language model and it has Android and it has search and it has YouTube. So they have a lot of assets that make that product better. So not imminent threat to Apple, but I think they need to change their strategy to actually be an effective competitor to Android 3 years from now.
Laura, thank you very much. I know there's some shareholders who are hoping that something might have changed, but you've still got it at a hold. If you change it, come back. We want to hear.
Thank you.